So let's talk about 4 things that often people say discourage them from wanting to set up a trust. Mind you, these are things that they pick up, right, from discussions that happen here and there. And they often say these are the main things that actually prohibit them from wanting to set up trust. Mind you, they've never had a proper one-on-one discussion with someone who practices in this area. So let's talk about these things. 1, you'll hear someone say, I don't think it's a good idea, this whole trust situation, because now I will have to pay for transfer costs for moving my properties into this trust. Forgetting that at your death, your estate will have to pay for those transfer costs because you'll be dead, right? And so the properties have to move from your name to another person's name. Are you going to leave that money behind because of it? You don't. Does your family have it? Because that needs to happen as well. Otherwise, once the property stays in your name, it gives them problems. So you cannot run away from the transfer of properties. 2, they often say, I will not, set up a trust and then move these properties because I'm worried about capital gains tax. If I move these properties now, so that they can stay there, I don't want to pay for capital gains tax. Well, do you know that capital gains tax also applies when you have passed away and the property moves from your name to another person's name? Because in the context of tax, if you pass away, obviously this property has to move from your name as the deceased to another person, and that transaction is seen as a sale for purposes of what? For purposes of capital gains tax. So either way, your estate has to pay for capital gains tax. Have you thought about that? The third thing that people often say is expensive, or is the reason why they will not set up a trust, is because a trust is expensive. My question is, when you say expensive doing what? What will you be doing in that trust? What will be happening that is going to warrant for you to be paying for expensive expenses? What's going to be happening there? Have you thought about the fact that if you leave those things in your name, and they are probably more than 3.5 million rand, your estate is going to be liable to pay estate duty tax, which is charged at a 20% rate of the net value of your estate. Which one is much more expensive? Have you had that calculation to see which one is the best option before you make that argument? Because what will you be doing in that trust?